Yolan True and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and we are still dealing this week with a lot of new stuff from the new arc, the Mirror Universe Part 2, and today I have to talk about the last of the 4 new officers. But before I talk about another rare officer here, I just want to say, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet but do like my videos, then please do subscribe to my channel. And when you do, also click this little bell and all notifications so you'll be notified when another video comes out. But now let's have a look at Lieutenant Picard. And if you've seen my preview video before Arcfall, then you have heard what character I thought he was. And there's now a text in the info box that explains everything. And he is this Lieutenant Picard from the episode about the Captain's Heart with Q, where you could see in the Next Generations what would have happened if Picard didn't have the fight with the Nausicaans, didn't get stabbed in his heart and would have this artificial heart, and would be quite of a boring officer, and just Lieutenant Picard and not Captain Picard. And that's the one we're talking about. Today, of course, I'll once again give you a preview on this officer. I always do this when they are new, before I even had a chance to get them, so you can have a look what you can expect from those. But I will include him in my A to Z officer series later, when I had the chance to get him. But as usual, I still want to talk about the basics, and that is that he's class Science, which means you need science badges to upgrade him later, and he has a blue uniform, not a red one. We all could see that. He's from the group Next Generation, and that's the point where we talk about his abilities later. Next Generation is a very old group in this game, but now they added him to make it better for lower level players. And that's an interesting idea, but of course an idea that has to do with all the complaints I could see in the comments under my videos, although I'm not Scopely, but also on the Scopely Discord and so on, or the STFC Discord, where a lot of people complained about this, that everything new is just about level 40 plus and nothing for the lower levels. And this officer is something for the lower levels and connected to a very old group here, and will change an old group in this game a bit. And he's from the faction Federation. That means you will need Federation credits later to upgrade him. But about the group and talking about if he's captain, with his captain ability, he can get synergy from other Next Generation officers, or he can give synergy to other Next Generation officers. And that's the interesting part here. And his captain maneuver is test that assumption. Lieutenant Picard increases your apex barrier by 4,000 versus non-armada hostiles. So for once, one of the new officers finally is not a PvP officer, but a PvE officer. And there's something that is quite new, because it really is for lower levels, because it only works against hostiles of level 35 and under. So he's an officer that is supposed to work well for you very early in the game. Although I don't know where they will put Picard or Lieutenant Picard in the future to get him that early, but they must do something. They made some changes to the recruitment section recently, where I once again have to upgrade still my recruit lists. But they just added a few officers to one part, so it's not that bad that I haven't upgraded that. It's only a few officers that are more in one of the parts. But they will have to put him in one of the easier parts in the future to make it workable. And not that it's one officer you only can buy. That would be really bad. At the moment, we'll talk about it in a second. It's bad enough anyway. But Apex Barrier I don't have to talk about anymore. I made a video on that one. But as the other Apex Barrier officers, one thing counts for him as well, and that is something must be with Apex Barrier and the abilities of Tal. And that's why if you put Tal on the bridge with any Apex Barrier officer, and that includes Lieutenant Picard, the maneuver won't work. So never put Tal on the bridge with any of those officers. But of course, that will be quite a help for your crews that you used earlier, the next generation crews, when you are grinding hostiles, because more apex barrier means you can last longer against those hostiles, and so you can grind longer before repairing. So this is a very nice thing here. And the officer ability, Always Alight, also puts 5% to the shield health versus non-armada hostiles, and so that's another, it's a small one, but that early in the game against those hostiles, it's a helpful ability that your shield health gets a boost there as well. Combined with the apex barrier, that is a really nice thing. Of course, because I don't have him yet, I cannot show you his away team traits, but we know that as a rare officer, he will have 2 of them. But if you are hunting hostiles 35 and under, you will not send him to away teams anyway. At the moment, the problem is that I just don't know how you will get him, because I was expecting to see him in the shop at some point. When I'm filming this, he hasn't been there yet. What is there now at the moment is, no, it's the new ones, is now Esri and Troy. So if you decide between Esri and Troy, you can buy the other in the shop at the moment, and you know that you will have to choose between one of the 2 after the battle pass, and you can buy them here. But I haven't seen Lieutenant Picard here yet, and I think at the moment buying him is so far from the announcements we know. They always put up surprises, but from what we know, I only see the chance to buy him at the moment. But the surprise part is always there, because we had a lot of events announced, and we were expecting a number of events. And of course, yesterday, for example, Scopely added another event right after I spent the material I will need for that event, because nothing was announced for the next week, so I thought I could spend a bit, but it wasn't. The recruit button still leads me here. Would be interesting to see if they will add Lieutenant Picard here, because the button still leads to the recruit section, but I still do expect him to be up for sale in the next time, at some point after I filmed this video. But we will see when I have a chance to get him at some point, how it's possible to do so without buying him. But that will be something I will have to wait for, I guess. Nevertheless, this video will stay online, so if the first ones are able to get Lieutenant Picard, please let me know how satisfied you are with him. It will be probably people on lower levels finally, and so I'm really looking forward to your opinion after you got Lieutenant Picard. And if you have questions in general or video requests, you know that I regularly read your comments. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.